Hello and welcome back. All right, view number two of the Planescape Torment game, or I guess you could also say Planescape Torment novel, which is often what it's referred to as.
Done.
All right, we don't have the key for that door. We do have a key to that door. Psst, some advice, Chief. I keep it quiet from here on. No need to put any more corpses in the dead book than necessary, especially the Femmes. Plus, killing them might draw the caretakers here. I don't think you mentioned it before. Who are these caretakers? They call themselves the Dustmen. You can't miss them. They have an obsession with black and rigor mortis of the face. They're an addled bunch of ghoulish death worshippers. They believe everybody should die. Sooner better than later. I'm confused. Why do these Dustmen care if I escape? Weren't you listening? I said the Dusties believe everybody's got to die. Sooner better than later. You think the corpses you've seen are happier in the dead book than out of it? Before you said something about making sure I didn't kill any female corpses. Why? What? Are you serious? Look, Chief, these dead chits are the last chance for a couple of hardy bashers like us. We need to be chivalrous. No hacking them up for keys, no lopping limbs off, things like that. I mean, we're corpses too, right? So it's not weird? I don't know. Anyway, last chance? What are you talking about? Chief, they're dead. We're dead. See where I'm going? Eh? Eh? You can't be serious. Chief, we already got an opening line with these limping ladies. We've all died at least once. We'll have something to talk about. They'll appreciate a man with our kind of death experience. Wait, didn't you say before that I'm not dead? Well, alright. You might not be dead, but I am. And from where I'm standing, I wouldn't mind sharing a coffin with some of these fine, sinewy cadavers I see here. Mort starts clacking his teeth as if in anticipation. Of course, the caretakers would have to part with them first, and that's not likely. Where did all these corpses come from? Death visits the plains every day, Chief. These shamblers are all that's left of the poor sods who sold their bodies to the caretakers after death. Alright, I'll try to remember all that. Look, Chief, it's obvious you're still a little addled after your kiss with death. So I got two bits of advice for you. One, if you got questions, ask me, alright? Alright, if I have any questions, I'll ask you. Second, if you're half as forgetful as you seem to be, start writing down stuff. Whenever you come across something that might be important, jot it down so you don't forget. Well, if I had the journal I was supposed to have with me, I'd do that. Start a new one then, Chief. No loss. There's plenty of parchment and ink around here to last you. Huh. Alright, it couldn't hurt. I'll make a new one then. Use it to keep track of your movements. If you ever start to get cloudy on important things, like you are, or more importantly, like who you are, or more importantly, who I am, use it to refresh your memory. Alright, let's go.
Updated my journal.
So that's another thing about this game is this is in videos that I've seen people doing reviews of this game, is that sigil, and in case I didn't mention it in the first video, it is pronounced sigil, not sigil. There was a whole long section on why they call it sigil and not sigil. I wish I had the link to that because it was a really good explanation, very in depth. But in sigil, they have their own vernacular, and I believe when we come across the, I think he was a devil in Baldur's Gate 2, where we played with the deck of many things. That one, that guy is from sigil. And then if you have Hair Delise, which we did, he acknowledges that, and you can tell a little bit of his vernacular is from sigil. That's when he says like chits, dusties, and a few. There's a few other things that it's just the vernacular of this particular plane. All right. Bloodstains, rust, and other remains cover the surface of the metal slab. It is much larger than most of the other slabs sitting on the platform that allows it to be rotated. Oh, that's cool. Because basically all these slabs are on railroad tracks. And all these tracks lead to this, which I'm assuming rotates to allow you to slide them on these other slabs that rotate for surgeries or whatever the hell they do. So we updated our journal. H brings that menu up, which is combat log. Oh, quick loot, that's nice. I guarantee this has got to be an enhanced edition. Lock view on character. Okay. Toggle AI. We don't want to do that. Here's our stats. There's our journal. So we need to find Feyrod. And we also need to find our journal. Okay, that's cool. NPCs, zombie, female zombies. Zombies are mindless corpses animated by necromancy. Unlike skeletons, zombies still have a great deal of flesh attached to their frame and is both an advantage and disadvantage. It makes some of them tougher and stronger than skeletons, but at the same time, rigor mortis hinders their movement, making them much slower than a normal human being. Same thing. Oh, okay. Let's... Oops. Fist irons? Copper commons? I'm guessing that's currency. Alright, fist irons. Ah! It's a weapon. Not usable by mages, but we all always start off as a fighter. 2 to 4 crushing. And again, I think that I remember hearing or reading that edged weapons like axes are better. Maybe I should stay a fighter. Alright. And what do you do? Receiving room logbook. This huge book lists mortuary procedures in a tight, crabbed script. All shells entering the mortuary are to be delivered to the receiving room and logged with the scribe on duty before being embalmed or cremated. I guess shells are corpses? The records are to be checked to determine if the shell is one that is to be contracted, and if so, do not prepare the shell. move the shell to one of the preparation rooms, contact the scribe on duty, and notify him that a contracted shell is to be raised. Be certain that a shell is thoroughly stripped of its possessions before being sent to the preparation rooms. The contracted workers are intended for simple manual labor and do not have the capacity to search and strip a shell. The faction is not responsible for any possessions lost or stolen items by collectors who have brought the shells to the mortuary. The shell's possessions are to be stored in the receiving room until an initiate can be sent to claim them. Please catalog all possessions in the logbook. Following this list is thousands of entries of bodies that have been sent to the receiving room. As you flip through the rest of the book, however, you notice that the last page has been cut out. Aha! So we need to find this missing page. I don't know if I like this lock on camera. Hello, Dhall. The scribe looks very old. His skin is wrinkled and has a slight trace of yellow, like old parchment. Charcoal gray eyes lie within an angular face, and a large white beard flows down the front of his robes like a waterfall. His breathing is ragged and irregular, but even his occasional cough does not slow the scratching of his quill pen. Greetings. Whoa, Chief, what are you doing? I was going to speak with the scribe. He might know something about how I got here. Look, rattling your bone box with the dusties should be the last thing. See, like right here, the vernacular I was talking about, rattling your bone box with the dusties. It's a little tough to read. Nowhere near as tough like as it is in Baldur's Gate 2. Like when you're talking to a freaking dwarf. Good God. But there is a certain charm to it. However, at least with this game, they don't spell it weird where my brain has to stop and process or load to know what the hell I'm saying. I could just rattle this off. Much easier to read. Before Mort can finish his rant, the scribe begins coughing violently. After a moment or two, the coughing spell dies down and the scribe's breathing resumes its ragged wheeze. And back to Mort. And we especially shouldn't be swapping the chant with the sick dusties. Come on, let's leave. The quicker we give this place the laugh, the better. Before Mort can finish his sentence, the scribe's gray eyes flicker to you. The weight of years hangs heavy upon me, restless one. He places down his quill. But I do not yet count deafness among my ailments. Again, like we shouldn't be swapping the chant with sick dusties. Anyway, restless one. Do you know me? Know you? There's a trace of bitterness in the scribe's voice as he speaks. I have never known you, restless one. No more than you have known yourself. He is silent for a moment. For you have forgotten, have you not? Who are you? Always the question, and the wrong question as always. He bows slightly, but the movement suddenly sends him into a bout of coughing. He pauses for a moment to catch his breath. I am Dhall. Well, perhaps you can answer some questions for me, Dhall.
Updated my journal.
Very well. What do you wish to know? We already know what this place is. We already can guess that we died to get here. Do you know who I am?
Updated my journal.
I know scant little of you, Restless One. I know little more of those that have journeyed with you and who now lie in our keeping. Dhall sighs. I ask that you no longer ask others to join with you, Restless One. Where you walk, so walks misery. Let your burden be your own. Well, that's interesting. So we die over and over, forget who we are, and we basically form a group or party or whatever. That much I do know already. I've tried to watch all... I mean, well, I didn't try. I did watch all spoiler-free stuff, but I do know that we have died repeatedly. Anyway, there are others who've journeyed with me? Are they here?
Updated my journal.
You do not know the woman's corpse interred in the memorial hall below? I had thought she had traveled with you in the past. Dhall looks like he is about to start coughing again and catches his breath. Am I mistaken? Where is her body? The Northwest Memorial Hall on the floor below us. Check the biers there. Her name should be on one of the memorial plaques. Mayhap that will revive your memory. I don't know. I don't recall ever traveling with a woman. Dhall makes no response to this. He simply stares at you in silence. Before you said there were others who interred here who journeyed with me. Where are they? Doubtless they are, but I know not their names, nor where they lie. One such as you left a path many have walked and few have survived. Dhall gestures around you. All dead come here. Some must have traveled with you once. I find no fault with your reasoning. I had some other questions. Very well. What do you wish to know? What do you do here? I'm a scribe, a cataloger of all the shells that come to the mortuary. Dhall coughs again and takes a deep breath. As long as the stream of corpses flows through the mortuary, I shall remain at my post. You say that I've been here more than once. How is it that the dustmen do not recognize me?
Updated my journal.
I'm the one that catalogs the shells that come to our halls, Restless One. Dhall breaks into a coughing fit, then steadies himself. I only see the faces of those that lie upon our slabs. The dark of your existence lies safe with me. I have some other questions. Can you tell me how to get out of here? The front gate is the most obvious exit, but they will not let anyone other than dustmen pass. Dhall breaks into a ragged cough, then continues. One of the guides by the front gate has the key to it, but it is unlikely he will open it for you unless you are extremely persuasive. I see. Well, I had some other questions. Very well. You sound ill. Are you not well? I'm close now to the true death, Restless One. It will not be long before I pass beyond the eternal boundary and find the peace I have been seeking. I tire of this mortal sphere. Dhall gives a ragged sigh. The plains hold no more wonders for one such as I. The eternal boundary? The boundaries between the shadow of this life and the true death. True death? True death is non-existence, a state devoid of reason, of sensation, of passion. Dhall coughs and gives a ragged breath. A state of purity. Okay, well, it sounds like oblivion. Why would anyone want that? Is it worse than remaining in the shadow of what life once was? I think not. Shadow of life. Yes, a shadow. You see, Restless One, this life is not real. Your life, my life, they're shadows, flickerings of what life once was. This life is where we end up after we die. And here we remain, trapped, caged, until we can achieve the true death. What makes you think that this life isn't real? What makes you think this life is real? Look inside yourself. Do you feel something lacking? Dhall shakes his head. This is purgatory. This is only sorrow here. There is only sorrow here. Misery. Torment. These are not the elements that make up life. They are part of the cage that traps us in this shadow. Huh. Now, something I think I remember hearing in one of the reviews I was listening to while I was cooking and doing my daily routine. I was listening, I have wireless headsets, so I tend to listen to reviews and everything while I, clean the living room or cook or something like that. If I remember correctly, your choices here affect your alignment. Very similar to how in Vampire the Masquerade Redemption, when you choose something, let's say you choose to be an asshole to someone, it will shift your humanity in that game. And I believe your choices here shift your alignment, if I remember that right. I could be dead wrong about that, but I want to try to do this more as a good playthrough, I think. So, I think your fatalism has gotten the better of you. Those elements are part of life, but not the whole of it. Dhall shakes his head. Passions carry weight. They anchor many to this shadow of life. As long as one clings to emotion, they will be continually reborn into this life, forever suffering, never knowing the purity of true death. I see. How does one escape the cycle of rebirth and achieve this true death? Kill your passions. Strip yourself of the need for sensation. Then you are truly cleansed. Then the cycle of rebirth will end, and you will achieve peace. Dhall sighs. It sounds like a death rattle in his throat. Past these shells of ours, past the eternal boundary, lies the peace that all souls seek. Very well, Dhall. As you turn to leave, Dhall speaks. Know this. I do not envy you, Restless One. To be reborn as you would be a curse that I could not... To be reborn as you... to be reborn as you would be a curse that I could not bear. You must come to terms with it. At some point, your path will return you here. Dhall coughs, the sound rattling in his throat. It is the way of all things, flesh and bone. Well, then perhaps we'll meet again, Dhall. That was very insightful. In our first step to kind of learning about this place and our situation. So, but we will go ahead and leave this for now. Did I change my... Oh, no, quick save. Boom, there we go. Alright, so we'll end it for now. I'd like to thank you for watching, and hopefully I will see you all in the next one.